Hello everyone, I am Harshika Narula from grade 8A, the Lexicon International School, Kalyani Nagar. Today I have made a very interesting project upon finding out the air quality index. So I have made this project using many different models which include the Lars model, Hubbard regressor and many more. So I'll be explaining how to use all those models on this air quality index project. So first we will I'm using Colab. So from google.colab import files, uploaded is equal to files.upload, and then I've chosen file as the air quality index.csv. Then I've imported everything I will be needing in this project, which include NumPy, Pandas, Seaborn, Matplotlib, and many more. Then next, I have read the file using pd.read underscore csv. I have stored it in a variable df, which means nothing but data frame. Now the first thing you have to do when you get a data set is to understand it, which is also known as data analysis. So for that, I have done df.info. When I did df.info, I found out that there are 11 columns, 9 are float and 2 are object. There are some null values and there are 53 entries. So as you can see, air quality index has two null values and many of them have null values. Next I have done describe, because now the second part comes, which is cleaning your data. Now to clean your data, you can either fill the null data or you can either remove all of the data of in which the column has null value. So basically, if a column has null value, you either have to fill it or you have to delete the whole column. So in this project, you can see that almost all of the columns have null values. So I cannot delete all columns. That is why I will be taking out the mean of the column and filling it with the null values. So first, I will analyze if I need all of these columns. Now there are 11 columns over here. Now my main objective is to find out the air quality index. So will all of these help me to find out the air quality index, or are some of them are maybe non-useful? So I think time, longitude, latitude are unuseful. So we will drop them. So we don't have to write the whole code for it. Even city is unuseful because it does not matter what the name of the city is. So first of all, we will drop all these four columns using in place is equal to true. Access is equal to 1 means I have to drop the column, and in place is equal to true basically states that the changes that I'm making are final. You don't have to use in place is equal to true if you're using PyCharm or Spider or some other, you can say, programmer. But in Colab, as you can see, this is one code, this is the second code. Now if I make some change in this code, if I do not write in place equal to true, then it might not come for this code. That is why it is important to write in place equal to true. Otherwise, it will not drop the columns. It will only drop the columns if I write something over here. Like if I write print df over here, then it will print without these four columns. But later on when I use df, it will show me all of the columns. Next, after dropping these, I will again check the info, and now I can see there are only 7 columns now, out of which all 7 are float. So I have no object columns now. Next, I will find out exactly what number of null values are there in my project. So you can see there are 2 null values in air quality index, 6 in PM 2.5, etc. Now these PM 2.5, PM, O, NO, SO, these are all like CO is carbon dioxide, O3 is probably oxygen or something else. It's all basically the components of air. So what we're going to do is find out if this much oxygen is there and this much carbon dioxide is there, and so the air quality index is For example, X. So if oxygen is this much, carbon dioxide is this much, then what will be the air quality index? This is basically what we're going to do. So we're first going to train the data and then we will test it. So now I am using simple imputer. Now what is simple imputer? Simple imputer is basically, like you can say, it is a function that helps me to fill all the null values at once. If I do not use simple imputer, I have to add the mean values in every, you can say, in every null place. Now if there are 20 null values in this O3, then I'll have to find out the mean and then add it to all 20 of them, which will take too much time, and like it also has more chance of having errors. So we will just use simple imputer. Strategy is equal to mean. You can also use some other strategy like mode or median, but mean is usually preferred. df is equal to pd dot data frame. Now I'm going to fit. Now si over here, I made a, you can say, a object for simple imputer. Simple imputer is basically like a model which we use as a function. So I first made an object of it and then I fit underscore transformed df into it using this syntax. Next, again I will do df.info to see if all the null values are filled. And yes, now it is showing 0 null values. That means 153 non-null values. All of them are float and there are 153 entries. Moving forward, we will make a heat map. Now we have to understand, now again, after filling the null values, we will again understand the data, the new data that we have. Now to understand the data, we have to find out the end result is AQI, which is air quality index. Now to find out AQI, what is most important? So you can see the one with the most relation with AQI is the lightest color. So that means AQI is related to AQI obviously, and AQI is also very much related to PM10 and PM2.5. Now these are just informations that we are keeping. Later on we will use functions, but it is important to understand our data and what we are doing. Just like heat map, there is also a thing called pair plot. What pair plot basically does is it also shows the relation of datas. Now if you have a graph like this, it means it is a linear data. You can also see the outliers over here. So pair plot is basically used to see the outliers, if we have any outliers in the data, and you can see it is showing a few outliers. Moving forward, first we will train and test the data, and then we will be using different models to check what the accuracy score and R2 score is of the data. First we'll be using mean squared error, which is a commonly used model. What it basically does is it only gives what the error value is. So we will first define y, which is the dependent variable, and x, independent variable, their values. So the dependent variable is AQI, as we have to find it out, and the dependent and independent variables are every column except the AQI. So I can either make a list and write all the name of them, or I can directly just drop AQI and take the rest of them. So over here you can see that I have not written in place is equal to true, because I do not need to take out AQI from the data frame. I just want to use the data frame without AQI for this code. That is why I have not written in place is equal to true. Next, using train underscore test underscore split, I have split the data into x train, x test, y train, and y test. Later on, I have made a model for linear regression, and using it, I have fit x train and y train in it. Then I have predicted y. So y predict is equal to lr dot predict bracket x test. And then I have found out the mean squared error. So this is mean squared error. And then I've also found out the R2 score, which is similar to mean squared error. So you can see we have a high mean square error, which is 719.687. It is quite high, but let us check with different models what we get. So basically, in most of them we get the same output as this is a data with a small number of, you can say it is a small data. As you can see, there are only 153 rows. So most of these models right now will give the same output. There will be just a little difference. As you can see in the first one, there is, in the end it is 7286. Here it is 6055, 5862, 3094. So it will be a very minor difference. But when we use big datas, then it might show us a very different outputs. So first we have ridge model. In ridge model, we have to specify the alpha. Alpha is nothing but an argument. You can change it to higher and lower to check in which of the alpha you are getting a better output. So basically the mean squared error should be lesser and the R2 score should be more. In which of these following models are you getting the most values is what we have to take in the end for our code. So whenever you're making a big project, you can use different models, and in the end, whichever model is giving you a nice output, you can keep that model and delete the rest. Next, I fit it with X-train and Y-train, and then I've done ridge.predict, and then I found out the mean squared error and R2 score. So this is the same for all of these models, but I'll still explain it. So in ridge model, the alpha you can put it as 1.0 for a moderate output, and then the next model is lasso model. In lasso model, you make sure of the capital and small, and also make sure to import all of these models over here. From sklearn.linear underscore model, import logistic regression, linear regression, ridge, lasso, Bayesian ridge, Hubbard regressor, and Lars. These are the models we are using. Yes, so next is Lasso model. So in this model, for a moderate, you can say mean squared error, take it as 0.001. So all of these models, it depends what you're giving the alpha. Some of these models do not require an alpha, like Bayesian ridge and Hubbard regression. These do not require alpha. Only models like ridge and lasso required an alpha. Next we have lasso.fit and then prediction and the mean squared error. So you can see I have gotten almost the same output in all of these as I had explained before. This is a small data, so we might get similar output. Next we have Bayesian ridge. All of these models have the same, you can say it has the same syntax, just the name of the models are different. We have Bayesian ridge, Hubbard regressor, and Lars model in the similar way. The one that worked best for me is the lasso model. This worked the best for me. As you can see, it is a minute difference. Like you can see, it is 717 and it is 677. But even the minor differences matter when we use a big data. So these were the models we used today: ridge model, lasso model, Bayesian ridge, Hubbard regression, and Lars model. Now you can also try to use these and compare all of these outputs, what output you're getting, and make sure you remember the mean squared error, the lesser the better, and the R2 score, the more the better. I hope you liked my video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll keep you posted with more codes. I've also learned random forest classified. I'll also be posting videos on it in my next videos. Thank you and happy coding.